to the American Academy of Dermatology, nearly 120,000 people will develop skin cancer this year. About 10,000 of these people will die from it. Did you know that international cancer experts are now deeming ultraviolet radiation just as deadly as arsenic and mustard gas? A recent USA Today article stated this shocking claim. Being a redhead, I've always had sensitive skin and burned very easily. I used to be jealous of all of my friends that just always looked so tan. Two of my best friends actually worked at tanning salons in the past and would always try to convince me to go and get tanning memberships and use tanning beds. But after I looked into this myself some and did some research, I learned that tanning beds could actually increase my already high risk of skin cancer. Sunless self-tanners and makeups are great alternatives that are much safer to achieve your ideal image than tanning beds, which can cause skin cancer. Today I will go over some of the dangers of using tanning beds, and I will offer you some different safer alternatives so that you can still look tan. Tanning beds can actually be just as dangerous as direct sun exposure. First of all, they are especially dangerous to young people. According to the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services report on carcinogens, the risk of melanoma increases by 75% if you use tanning beds before you turn 35. According to the ADA website, melanoma is the most serious form of skin cancer, and it's characterized by the uncontrolled growth of pigment-producing cells. Tanning is also a really big business right now. According to Dr. Hema Sundaram, about 1 million people tan every day. Some salons are especially unsafe because they're only after getting money, mainly from women aged 16 to 30. Because of this reason, not all tanning beds are cleaned properly before and after use, which is kind of gross. Even if you don't agree with the health risks, you must agree that tanning beds and the memberships can be very expensive over time. Tanning beds are also a proven danger. According to Dr. Sundaram, traditional tanning beds emit about 3 times the UVA rays emitted by the sun. Just one sunburn can double your risk of skin cancer. So imagine how much damage constant tanning and tanning beds could do to you, since tanning beds are also proven to cause sunburns. According to dermatologist Swerdlow and Weinstock's research, the risk of melanoma is increased by 300% for those that tan on occasion in tanning beds, and by 800% for those that tan over 10 times a year. Many tanning salons claim that indoor tanning is safer than outdoor tanning because the UVA rays are used more for tanning instead of the UVB rays, which cause sunburn. But medical research has actually disproved this claim. Skin cancer is certainly associated with sunburn from UVB rays, but scientists at the FDA have recently proved that damage is just as bad from constant tanning UVA rays over time. They can lead to skin cancer, premature aging, and damage of your immune system. According to Swerdlow's research, UVA rays penetrate deep into the skin, causing significant destruction of skin cells and loss of skin elasticity. Many specialists and organizations are fighting to actually ban tanning bed use in general. The FDA and the CDC, or Centers for Disease Control, advise people to not tan at all. The American Medical Association is fighting to ban the non-medical use of tanning equipment, and the CDC also report a lot of eye problems that tanning beds can produce, such as conjunctivitis, corneal infections, and retinal damage. Now that I've gone over some of the dangers of tanning beds, let's look at some of the safer alternatives so that you can keep your tan. There are many ways to achieve that summer glow without damaging your skin or spending too much money. You can use makeup to look more tan. According to Lori Fine, ABC's Emmy Award-winning makeup artist, if you pick a foundation that's just slightly darker than your natural skin color, you can stay looking natural and avoid that infamous orange look. A few tips are using matte makeup instead of shimmer, because you can layer it better, and gold colors are better than brown. You should apply bronzer on areas of the face that sunlight hits before you apply your makeup, such as your forehead, nose, and chin. A second alternative is using bronzing moisturizers or self-tanners, like these that I have here. According to Lori Fine, you can use bronzing tinted moisturizers, like one from Styla Cosmetics, to brighten pale complexions before you apply your makeup. If you want a longer lasting tan, you You can use Jergens Natural Glow Daily Moisturizer or Clarins Mousse, other products along those lines. But a lot of people tend to stay away from self-tanners or fear them because they're afraid of looking blotchy. However, if you do make a mistake in applying, it's not unfixable. There are many remedies such as baking soda. You can scrub with that in the shower and it'll even out your tan. You can also use hydrogen peroxide on little spots on your hands and feet. But to avoid making these mistakes, if you exfoliate and moisturize before you apply the tanner, you should avoid all of those problems. Another thing you can do is to get an airbrush or spray-on tan. This is the most expensive alternative, but it looks the best. Most celebrities use it. You can achieve this at a tanning salon, but make sure you have a specialist help you. I know from my own experience that you can get tanning lines on your wrists and on your ankles that never look very good. According to Lori Fine, terracotta also makes a really great spray-on for your face that blends nicely and washes off daily. Now let's sum up what you've learned today. In summary, tanning beds can be very dangerous, cause damage to your skin cells, and possibly lead to the development of melanoma. Instead of using tanning beds, people should become more aware of safer alternatives to still look tan. So who wants that orange look? Who wants skin cancer? That's right, none of us do. I urge you to avoid using tanning beds and instead to use different makeups or bronzing moisturizers to help you achieve a much safer tan. So please avoid looking like an Oompa Loompa and stay away from tanning beds.